Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real, still the real Anthony D. And your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezie. Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one chief rocker Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie. And I am joined by the man that is so smooth, he does not require a chaser. Anthony D is in the building. Salute, boss.
Salute. Good morning to you. Good morning, Knicks Nation, as we close out 2024, going into 2025. Happy New Year to you all. I wish you nothing more than whatever you wish for yourself.
Whatever you want. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, man.
Absolutely. And to you as well, my brother. Happy New Year to you.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
So where we at with it this morning?
It's been a long year, boss.
It has been. It feels like deja vu.
It feels like
right now. It feels like deja vu right now. It feels like that Dionne Warwick.
The son of the legendary Cox is in the building. Ivory 10 is in the building. What you know about Dionne Warwick, boss?
Deja vu. That's what it feels like right now with the Knicks. It feels like deja vu. Feels a little more than a year of the trade with OG.
The OG and a Nobi trade, bro.
You know, that if we're gonna mark time, it's one of those, yeah. You know, after Brunson's one of those the feel good moves. That was it. That was the kickoff.
Right. Bro, man, I'm so excited about where we are as a team. I watched like a lot, like all of us, right? I try to catch as many Knicks games as I can. I saw the who did we play the other day? Not the Magic game. The Magic game, as a matter of fact, it was the Magic game. I watched the Magic game, and I was thinking to myself, like, are we ready? Are we on that run? As we sit here, the Knicks have won 7 straight, right? With 3 very winnable games coming up, or at least 2. The OKC game is probably a toss-up. By the time we play OKC, we may have the same record as the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm just going to check just real quick. But we played them in OKC, which is the weird thing. So I'm just going to check that really quickly. But the reason why I'm even thinking back to this review is how often is it that a team turns everything around in a year? And how often is it that when they make all the major moves, they actually work? And I guess what I'm asking you is because you understand Knicks suffrage. Right? You understand Knicks suffrage, right? and so and so
Damn, Freezie.
yeah, you know why I say that, right?
Part of the Knicks suffrage movement.
Yeah, yeah. You know why I use that term, right? Because it takes one to know one.
Takes one to know one.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it like that. It takes one to know one, right?
No.
So when I look back at where we were about this time last year versus where we are today, a few things come to my mind. Like, for one, why did it take so long for us to pull the trigger? Right? If you knew this was the move, why didn't you do this in 2020? Right? Why didn't we do it then? Right? And then at the same time, I'm thankful because you had the wherewithal to actually make the move. Right? Which all those combined together, man, has me in a place that um makes me think this year is championship or bust.
It is. That's how I feel about it. I feel like that at the very least, it's finals. You don't go out and make the moves that you've made to be like, okay,
Right.
those are nice internal Christmas gifts. We've resurrected them from the slums of Fizdale and
Right.
and that management.
Right. Yeah.
It's not what it is.
Yeah.
It's never been that. The critiques of management, of this management, and of any management has always been to hopefully to push them to do better. See what I'm saying? So to your point, championship or bust, okay, I could get along with that.
Championship or bust.
I could get along with that, absolutely, because you didn't bring Carl Anthony Towns in here just to have a reunion with his former coach.
Right.
Just to say, well, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm more sorry. No, I'm more sorry. I could give a damn what happened in Minnesota.
Right.
Care less.
Right.
It's all about here, now, and in the future.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? As I sit here, so the Oklahoma City Thunder have only lost 5 games all year, right? The Oklahoma City Thunder right now are 25-5. That record is ridiculous. Right? 25-5.
It is.
Right? But
Cleveland, the same thing.
right. But here's the thing. The schedule favors us in a way, right? Here's why the schedule favors us. Tonight they play Memphis, right? Who is the second or third best team in their conference. Then they play Minnesota, right? Then they play the Clippers. And then the day after they play the Clippers on a Thursday night, right? Then guess who they play on a Friday night on a back-to-back? The New York Knicks. So we catch them on the second half of a back-to-back. Right? Now, what does that mean? What does that mean in the grand scheme of things? Logistics is what I'm getting at. Like, the Knicks are catching OKC, and the OKC Thunder are deep. And you know what? They may beat Memphis. They may beat all those teams. Right now, they have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They've won 14 out of their last 16 games. That takes a lot of energy, bro.
It does.
That takes a lot of energy.
It does.
But going forward, they have tonight or today. Well, tonight they have Memphis. Tuesday they have Minnesota. Thursday they have the Clippers. Friday they have the Knicks. Next Sunday, this time they play the Boston Celtics. The Wednesday after that, they play the Cleveland Cavaliers at Cleveland. And then the Friday after that, they play at Madison Square Garden. And what does that mean? Man, shit, they can run the table. I don't know. But what it seems like to me is that Oklahoma City Thunder team had been eating off a very easy schedule. And then now the chickens are coming home to roost. It's a test, not just for us, because if we go to Oklahoma City and lose, so what? We went on the road and lost to the best team in the Western Conference. But if we go to Oklahoma City and win, see, now you're talking about the Knicks have won 10 in a row by the time we get there. Because we play the Wizards again Monday. We play the Utah Jazz Wednesday, and then we play OKC Friday night.
To be honest with you, I don't.
That's a lot of stuff. I said a lot of stuff, right?
No. But
can you tell I was overthinking it?
No. Not at all. Not at all. Because you're coming from a place of the importance of the regular season.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard for me to let go seeing Miami being the overall number one seed, winning 60 games, and we dusted them off.
In 99. Knicks suffrage at its finest, everybody.
At its finest. Seeing, a Seattle team that was favored to come out of the West that year.
94.
Denver knocks them off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The same thing with Dallas and Golden State that year, where Dallas was just absolutely on fire. They run up against a Golden State team that was like, okay, you're going to take this work.
Yep.
So,
they were just more athletic. They overwhelmed Dallas with athleticism. Nobody expected
and
that.
Speed and just young craftiness and players that guys didn't realize that Steven Jackson could really play.
Right.
And so forth. So I look at it in from a point of just being ready for the moment, getting the team to a certain point of just being ready for the moment. Regular season, yes, it has a lot of importance. There's, marks in the sand where you can be like, okay, in Denver,
right,
that's something I really want to do. Or here in Madison Square Garden, that's something I really want to do. OKC, I watched them the other night, maybe a week ago. And I was, okay, they're going places. Their record is not, I didn't think it was fugazi per se, because you can see the talent is all over the place for them. But they didn't make me go, if I catch them in the finals, we're not going to dust them off.
Right.
It's just, for me, it's just getting there. And when you get there, being ready and not, God forbid Orlando gets healthy and Orlando is your first round opponent. A healthy Orlando. Not all the way healthy because, Wagner is gone for the year or whatever, but, Banchero comes back. You could fall asleep. That's my thing. I want to be ready first round, second round, third round. That's the march I'm talking about. like to be absolutely 100% locked each round and win. So my focus on the regular season, okay. Like last night's game, I saw something someone in the chat said about Brunson, and Brunson had this many shots and versus Cad, and like you're gonna get the man drops a double nickel, Freezie,
Right.
and 9 assists on a back-to-back.
Yeah, and you know what? And nobody's even talking about it like that.
You can't please. Like he literally said, "Hey, you want to go through Nick histories and take a look at how many double nickels you'll have?
Not
50s and 60s. His name is going to be all over there." How about that?
right. Yeah.
That man catches a double nickel, shooting 3 from 11 from 3, I think, and goes to the free throw line, which to me, every great Nick suffrage loss always came from them not hitting their free throws. When he went 16 for 17 or 17 for 18, whatever it was, I was like, oh, dear God.
Right. Right.
When you shooting that good from the free throw line, Freezie, bumper 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
On a back-to-back night, getting 55 and 9. What? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
There's nights when your superstar has to be the superstar.
Yeah. This makes me laugh, bro. Yo, but first of all, let me say salute to my guy Jay Boogie. Hey, Jay Boogie, I just searched. I don't see it. I just checked my email. Jay Boogie, I just checked my email. I don't see it, bro. And last night we were rocking. I gotta get. Well, it might be too late for Jay Boogie. Them we doing them the midnight hours. We was doing the midnight hours last night, bro. But I will say this to your point though. To your point, we had 3 excellent games in one. Like Cat's game last night, bro. Cat's game. Was it last night? I guess it wasn't.
Cat had 30 last night.
But the thing about, because I understand we're in a Brunson lane, right? We're in a Brunson lane, but I just want to say this thing about Cat. The move that Cat did at the top of the key, where he crossed the guy over and dribbled the ball back between his legs to shoot the 3 from the top of the key, bro. 7-footers don't do that.
They just don't.
Right. You saw with Cat went like this to cross, right? And the dude went with him because 7-footers don't usually dribble. So he had to go with him, right? Cat went like this to go that. He leaned that way. The dude went that way. The dude circled the ball back between his legs, caught it in rhythm, and knocked down the 3 from the top of the key. What are we talking about, bro? Bananas. Jalen Brunson, and you, bro, Jalen Brunson going for 55, and we just out here like, it's just 55. It's just another night. It's just another night at the office, bro. What are we talking about, bro?
55 and a 30. Ewing would have died. Ewing would have died. Come back for that kind of sidekick.
Right.
Knowing that tonight, I don't have to be the one to have 35 to get 30.
Right.
Or back then, a tough 25.
That game, bro. That game, but bananas. The fadeaway cat hit in the corner when he was feeling it. I'm telling you, this thing where Jalen Brunson and Cat score 85 points between themselves, and nobody, and it looks like they played in the flow of the game. Ain't nobody stopping that, bro. I doubt it. Ain't, no, ain't nobody stopping that. That's too hard to stop.
It's what to give management their credit. It's what they saw. Because remember, they were dancing with Cat from afar for a long time.
Right. Right.
And you could see the writing was on the wall, bits and pieces. You know, Randall decides to leave. You know, the agency, which I remember thinking at that point, all right, this is over for him.
Right.
He decided to go outside of the family for representation. Mm-mm.
Right.
They dreamed of this Cat Brunson. I don't care if Cat had the 55.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. It's just so beautiful to look at on a back-to-back.
Right.
Coming up a back-to-back.
The back-to-back part is the most important thing. I know. Listen, and chat. I see y'all, man. I understand what y'all saying about the defense and all that. Yeah, I got to, man. It was the second night of a back-to-back. I mean, the first night of that back-to-back, nobody was complaining about perimeter defense and points at the rim. The second night of a back-to-back, we complaining about perimeter defense and points at the rim. I mean, we got to have some perspective, right? The dudes played 40 minutes one night in Orlando. The next night in DC, they play an overtime game. They won, bro. We got to cut them some slack. Like we got to cut them. Yeah, we got to cut them some slack, bro.
It doesn't matter who's the hero. It really doesn't.
Yeah, man. I mean, think about this. You knew the Orlando Magic was going to beat us up, regardless how many players they were missing. You know the Orlando Magic play us physically. They wore us out. They wore us out. We still won. They wore us out. We still won. Right? Then we go to Washington, and while Washington is not Orlando, they have a similar makeup. They have 6'5" guards, right? Length all over the perimeter, and big physical centers. Like, what's the difference between Batadze and Valanciunas? Both are big physical guys. Right? What's the difference between Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter, and Alex Saw? Alex Saw is just young, but he's still an athletic big that can shoot the three. Right? It's one of those things, man. One of these things I'm gonna say to Knicks fans. I guess I'll start now saying it. I think we can't live and die with each game.
We cannot. We cannot live and die with each game, Freezie.
Right. We can't
live in that. This has been that. You gotta live in the moment.
Right. Yeah. Just enjoy the moment, man. Because if I told y'all, and I'm gonna say this to Revis. Where's Revis at? Revis had a comment. Okay. So Revis, listen. We can complain about a lot of stuff. Like we complaining about Cat's defense, right? Were you complaining about Cat's defense Friday night? Nah. We're not complaining about Cat defense Friday night. We complaining about his defense Saturday night on the second day of a back-to-back, and you know your bench is trash. We gotta have some perspective.
gotta relax.
We gotta have some perspective. The fact that the Knicks have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The Knicks have won 12 out of their last 14 games, right? And here's one even better. Since November 15th, the Knicks have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Since November 15th, the Knicks have won 17 out of 21 games. What else do you expect? Like this is the Knicks record since that day. And I'm gonna put it on the screen.
They're on fire right now.
This is the Knicks record since November 15th. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? That's their record since what are we talking? We're complaining about a bunch of stuff.
17 and 4.
17 and 4?
That's better than last year's stretch then. When they went in January. That's better than that.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, we 17 and 4 since November 15th, and we out here talking about Cat need to look like Mutombo.
When we knew he wasn't that in the first place.
Yeah.
That's not why we got him.
Yeah, and so while I do understand the sentiment, right? So while I do understand the sentiment, I understand the concern. I appreciate the concern. It concerns me too, but that concern shouldn't be the priority.
It doesn't concern me because here's the thing. The other team, they get paid too.
Yeah, the other team get paid too. Look, hey, you see what Smitty said? So Smitty said the Knicks are beating a lot of cream puff, tomato can, or depleted teams. Schedule matters. Right. But what if we were losing to those teams? Smitty, what if we were losing to those teams? What would you be saying? If we were losing to those teams, what would be the narrative?
Exactly. It's like you believe the other teams are playing a separate bunch of teams. Like everybody's playing the same people.
Right.
You just catching them when you catch them.
Right.
And the Knicks have over this last month and a half have been absolutely balling.
They corrected themselves.
I'm not looking at Cat. I'm looking at Cat. When it comes to defense, I'm looking at Cat in moments.
Right.
I'm not looking at Cat the whole game, the Cat to shut down. That's not him. It's not what he does.
Nah.
If I pull him in the office and I'm gonna come, Cat, I just did 30 and 20.
That's it. Yeah, man. Just do your thing, bro. Be yourself.
I just got 30 and 20. What more do you want?
Right.
I want it in the playoffs. Fair.
Bim. And so my thing on it again is I appreciate the concern because you are who you are, right? You are who you are. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that the Knicks are who they are, right? So do we have deficiencies? Yes, the bench needs to be more consistent, right? We need more consistent play out of Precious, right? But he's coming back from injury. So we expect Precious to, round in the shape. We need more consistent point guard play off the bench, right? Should these things be the priority? No. The priority should be this team that had just come together in October, stumbled out of the box. They stumbled out of the box. And now they're correcting themselves. 17-4 in the last 21 games. I mean, what else what else is there for you to talk about? If you're a Knicks fan, just be excited. But if Brooklyn was 17-4 right now, we talking about build our franchise like Brooklyn.
They'd be doing a catwalk right now.
Yeah.
They'd be up and down, seeking attention wherever they could find it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not good enough to win. You got to win a certain way, which makes no sense. Just give me the W's, man. Like I said, I'm a part of you were part of we're part of the suffrage movement.
Yeah, man.
Knicks suffrage movement. Like,
yeah.
I remember nights like that against a Washington team like that where we would absolutely lose that game.
Get blown out and be mad.
And just don't know how we lost the game.
Right.
For years.
Right.
That's what was happening. That's not what today is.
Nah.
So I'm not gonna look at Brunson and for what he's 55-9
on the night of on a back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
What are we
talking about? Like, you want to get this work? You seeing big body Brunson round into the shape. The other night he bounced off some dude, gave him a little Marbury flex. I ate that. Ref, where was the N1?
and AD, and you know what the kicker to it is? The kicker to it is we're doing that and we're injury free.
So far,
right? And I know it's taboo to talk about injury, right?
Yeah, man.
I know it's taboo to talk about injuries, right?
I don't even want to do it.
It's life. It's life, bro. It's things happen, right? Things happen, right? It's in life, man. No living person is gonna live life unscathed. Everybody is gonna have that moment where something is gonna happen to them. It's life.
Absolutely.
Right? It's life. It's a part of it, man. You know it.
Absolutely.
I think the Knicks are in such a great place, man. We need to enjoy the moment.
Come on now. I'm watching OG play the best ball of his life.
Yep.
I'm watching Bridges play the best ball of his life.
Yep.
They fitting like a glove.
Yep.
It's so bad you can't even talk about Hart. I'm like, oh yeah, that's just Hart being.
That's just Josh being Josh.
That's just Josh being Josh. It's a damn shame when you can take it, where you can literally look at a dude that plays that hard every play.
Yep.
We expect that. That's just Josh.
Yeah.
No, it's we've never had we haven't had this in a very long time, and I have to enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment, bro.
Even when they lose, I'm like, all right, we're not gonna lose tomorrow. Never had those types of feelings, or we haven't had them in a very, very long time.
Right.
We're just looking at management right now to go out and get what they need. Question.
Right.
What do they need? What do you believe they need right now, Freezie?
What do I think they need?
Yeah.
Rest. That's it. That's all. I think they need to find a way to get more rest. That's it.
I think they need a big.
Okay.
I was talking with some cat last night or a couple of nights ago when I was out, and like immediately, like both, like after they won the game, it was like, yo, we could just get Mitch back, get him back, pay a little 10, 15 minutes a game. That's all we asking for, a little 10. Mitch, come do Mitch for 10, 15 minutes a game.
Right. Right.
But if he's not the answer, we still need a big.
Right.
Because to the chat's earlier point, as far as Cat not being able to consistently do, that's not his game. And I don't want him to do that. And they have to see this internally, like, that's what we need. We have to fortify this situation.
Right. Okay.
So give me a big.
Okay.
These are some of the same things that, the suffrage movement remembers them not being able to go out and get something that they really needed when it was right there for them.
Right. Okay.
These are the wasted Melo years.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, the lasting memories of Melo in a Knick uniform is Hoodie Melo.
Hoodie Melo. Oh my God.
Remember that?
Yes.
Do
I want to remember it? No. Do I want to remember that? No. I don't want to remember Hoodie Melo. Jogging on the college football, the high school football field. Remember that Melo getting in shape?
Oh my
with
God.
The hoodie on. Do I want to remember that? No.
It's just how bad we look. That's how when you have a bad management, Freezie, and then you got pictures of management watching him and laughing at him.
Yeah. Yeah.
As if Steve Mills can laugh at anybody.
At anybody, right?
Anybody.
Mills, what are you doing?
Like, your track record is so bad. Like, come on now, Freezie. This is a good thing. And to an argument that we were having like some last week, I think, over the Oval, like, this is the best I felt since '94. I said it then. I'm gonna say it again.
Right.
Best I felt since '94.
Right. AD. So since November 23rd, the Knicks are winning at a 75% clip. We win 3, lose 1, win 3, lose 1, win 3, lose. I don't know how you can be. Doesn't matter the opponent.
That's insane.
This right here is what we're nitpicking.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah. This is what we're
and we're talking about bolstering that.
Yeah. 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 Bro, I don't know how much this is Cleveland. Those 16 games, we're in the Cleveland Cavalier territory. And even when we were struggling at 9-6. Yeah.
Which is a typical Tibbs jump off.
Yeah.
You could trace Tibbs every year that he's been here. Like when it starts, it doesn't start off 7-0, 10-2. It just doesn't. It takes time. He sees what players can work with, what he's trying to do, and then, guys get X'd out. Remember, what was the forward that we traded from Atlanta that we had, at least I did, that he played with RJ Barrett at Duke? What's
Cam
the name?
Reddish.
Remember when Cam Reddish was, fans was like, oh, well, not, I don't want to say all the fans, but a lot of fans could not understand, like, why he was playing 1 minute, he looked kind of okay, kind of what we think we need as a team as far as a wing, right. And then never saw him again.
Never saw him again. And AD, to that point, bro, I ain't even gonna. I saw
the team started playing better.
Yeah, what it is Cam Reddish is a loser, and I was on the Cam Reddish bandwagon. But when you go see these cats live, you can see why these dudes don't play. When you go to the game, when you actually go to a game, instead of getting what's presented to you on TV, you see why Tibbs plays certain players and see why you see. The thing is, when you go to the game and you see Cam Reddish with the hoodie on, the Knicks down by, I think the Knicks were down by 7, and Taj Gibson is trying to rally them. Like, come on, y'all, come on. Right? Did like cats like like Taj Gibson are like trying to rally the troops. Randall is over there in his head trying to figure it out. Like, what's going? Why we lose? Like, AD, you know how some dudes just be in their own they own worst enemy. And I'm not bashing Randall. What I'm saying is that's just a personality type. Some people legit are like their own worst enemy, is what I'm saying. Now, I'm not bashing Randall.
Think about this, Freezie. Think about this. The Knicks got Josh Hart for Cam Reddish and the #1 pick. It's one of the greatest trades in Knicks history.
Right.
It's one of the greatest trades in Knicks history.
So let me tell you who that player was. So the Knicks got Josh Hart and his production and leadership for Cam Reddish and Chris Murray. Now, if I ask you who Chris Murray is, right? If I ask you who Chris Murray is, I can like,
you sound like Murray from Happy Days.
yeah, Murray. Fries up. You remember Murray from Happy Days? Fries up.
Actually, he's Al on Happy Days, and Murray with the Odd Couples. He's the cop.
It's the same guy. But it's
the same dude. Same dude playing the same role, basically.
Yeah.
Oh my God, same thing. You've gotten, like, when you think about that in our history, it's one of the greatest trades in Knicks history.
Yeah.
To get that kind of, is Cam Reddish even in the league anymore?
Right. I think so. I think he is.
Nick, someone in the chat, tell me, is Reddish in the league?
Yeah, he plays for the Lakers. Yeah, I said, but listen, as a fan of Duke basketball, right? I like Cam Reddish, I like RJ, I like Zion, I like Tatum, I like Ingram, right? I like Gary Trent Jr., all the I like Marvin Bagley, I like Wendell Carter, I like all the former Duke players, man, because I'm a fan of Duke basketball, right? Have been since '85. Since '85 when we had Kevin Strickland, Tommy Amica, Johnny Dawkins, what's the guy on ESPN, the tall guy on ESPN do basketball? Jay Billis, Danny Ferry, all of them. I've been a fan since then, right?
That's why they were losing all them big games, because you were a fan.
Right. Don't let me go to the game. Man, I went to I used to AD, I used to go to about 20 games a year or something like that, right? Just try this. Like if they're in DC, I go to DC. If they're in Charlotte, I go to Charlotte. If they're in Atlanta, I go to Atlanta. Whatever, Orlando, Miami, whatever. And I would go, and I would be the bad luck charm. No lie, hand to the man. My guy Jay Boogie with me. I think the first time I met Jay Boogie. No, maybe the second time. First time, second time. Right, because I met Jay Boogie in Atlanta, and me and Jay Boogie went to the game and we lost. Right, I was like, "Hey, Jay Boogie, I'm the bad." Me and Jay Boogie went to a playoff game one year in Atlanta.
There you go,
and we lost.
Blaming Jay Boogie.
And I was trying to tell Jay Boogie, we gonna lose, man. I don't want to put no bad juju on it, but I haven't seen the Knicks win in person in 20 years. He's like, 20 years? How often you go to the game? Shit, I done been to like 400 games. He's like, man, you bullshit, get out of here. Bro, I'm telling you, I go to games every year. Like, legit, I'll catch the circuit. Like, AD, you know the circuit. They'll hit, usually, before these weird TV schedule, but before it was about television, it used to be about travel, right? Yeah. And so what they would do is they would go down 95. They would go to Philly, then DC, then Charlotte, then Atlanta, then Orlando, and Miami, and then go over. Then they'll go west to New Orleans, Dallas. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's how the schedule. And so when they had that schedule, I used to catch a bunch of games, right? A bunch of games. And I would never see them win. They would always lose. It got to a point where people would see me walking up and they'll start cussing. Oh, here come that fat. And then we gonna lose.
Damn it.
Yeah,
throw the fucking shits into the air.
Yeah, just, oh God, here he come. And so I met, and no lie, it was a cold December night, and we met up with Divine, Rob the Nick, Jay Boogie, Uncle Fulio, Stafford Don. It was a bunch of us. And I told him, I was like, hey man, I hate to bust y'all bubble, but we gonna lose because I'm here. And it was like, man, you play for the other team? Nah, bro, I'm just a bad luck charm. And no lie, from the jump, it was just a great night. We messed around and we jumped out on them early, and you know what I'm saying? And it was just a great night, and we won, right? Oh no, not even that one. Jay Boogie, I got the nights mixed up. The Kemba Walker homecoming game. Did we win that game?
Jesus.
We lost that game in Charlotte, right? But anyway, what happened was I didn't even start going seeing the Knicks win until Rob the Nick pulled me to the side and washed the juju off me. When he was like, man, he was like, where you going? I was like, man, I'm going to go to the Waffle House and get me a steak. He was like, man, nah, come down to the bar. We're going to drink some beer. I was like, hey, dog, it's sleeting. It's 35 degrees and raining, and you want to sit outside on the beer deck and drink beer. He's like, yeah, we got to do this. And I was like, dog, it's 35 degrees out here, and you want to drink beer? He's like, nah, we got to do this, bro. We got to turn this thing around. And so Rob the Nick, no lie, salute to Rob the Nick, wherever he at, right? Rob the Nick sat me down, and he talked this thing, and the next time we saw each other, I think was in Atlanta. And you know what I'm saying? And we won in Atlanta, or it might have been Orlando. It was somewhere, and we won. And ever since then, every time I go see the Knicks, we win. Regardless. It don't even matter how good the team is, we win, right?
But you can feel like that as a fan when you're going through those spells.
Yeah.
You can really feel like, yo, is it me? Like, maybe I should. I remember we went to a game one night, and Jamal Crawford, God bless Jamal, and him being back home and doing games now, and love it. Once a Knick, always a Knick. We had very few good moments with Jamal Crawford.
Very few. And
this particular night, and that's not because of Jamal as a player, because Jamal could make you he could make you dream with his moves and the way he could score.
He was a hooper, bro.
And when the jumper got clicking, when the jumper really, because I remember one night, I think he hit like 16 in a row in the Garden, and they took him out. He should have obliterated the scoring record.
Yeah, he should have obliterated Wilt record. Yeah.
No. Bernard's record in the Garden. He should have absolutely. That was he should have had 70.
The number of field goals in a row.
Oh yes, yes.
Wilt record was like 22 or something.
Yes, like that. Yes. He was so on fire. Yeah. But that being said, he was a losing ball player
at the time. Yeah.
And he would do things. You would scratch your head and like, oh my God, what is this? But this particular night, me and my family, we were there, and he's having one of those games, but against Miami. But D Wade is having one of those games.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, was it Crawford's fault? He breaks away from, but all I remember is from the vantage point from where we were sitting, we could see D Wade about to shoot it in our face. That man shot it in our face, Freezie, and walked off. It was one of the worst feelings to leave the Garden with him posing on you.
Yeah.
And I just remember the next day looking at the box score and looking at Crawford's numbers. Because I would do that often. Like, great game, losing place in the end.
Yeah. I hate that, bro.
But that was him. And that's just the truth. Yeah. He was a part of a culture. Like when I see him, and yeah, I get it. Once a Knick, always a Knick. But when I see certain guys, when they come back, and I'm like, do we really need you out front?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, on the radio, okay. All right, fine. But do we really, need to have your Knick presence back?
Yeah.
Not for me. You see what I'm saying? Never did it. Him. Oh my God, I'm not even gonna talk. I'm not even gonna discuss Eddie Curry again on these airwaves.
No. But so with the point that I was getting at ultimately though is where we are right now versus where we came from are so far, so they're distant lovers, bro. Like where we used to be, like, oh man, all RJ got to do is hit a jump, get his jumper consistent, and he could be all-star caliber. We don't think like that no more, bro. Now we thinking like, I can't wait till April. All in chat, respectfully, right? I read most of the comments, right? Of course, we got to do the show and all that stuff. But I see a lot of the comments, right? And so I don't catch them all because, we got a show to run or whatever. But respectfully, all the comments that y'all are making right now are centered around what this team can do in April. Right? And where we come from is, man, all Mitchell Robinson got to do is add a jump hook, man. And I'm not trying to open the Mitch debate or argument or whatever. I'm just saying where we are versus where we come from. They're distant lovers. Like we used to be like, man, Randall putting up Jokic light numbers. Y'all remember that conversation? Randall's averaging 7 assists, man. Randall might be in the MVP conversation. And now we're like, I ain't worried about all that stuff. Jalen Brunson had 55 on the second end of a back-to-back. So what? We used to it. Right?
Hold on, I see what did Boogie say? I think Crawford was the closest thing to George Gervin. He could have been.
He could have, yeah.
George could have been. He just he just didn't. For us, at least, when we got Jamal Crawford, I think was like 24. right? When we got him through the restricted free agent sign and trade
from Chicago.
situation from Chicago.
Yeah.
And the thought of it was Allen Houston's going to come back. It's going to be Houston and Marbury backcourt, and Crawford is going to be the sixth man,
the combo guard. And
that's
remember he was a starter in Chicago though.
And he was a starter in Chicago, but that's what it was laid out to me because especially early for Crawford, you didn't know what he was. You didn't know if he was a one. He had nights where, as a point guard, he could dazzle the out of you. Yeah. There's nights as a two guard. That man was the original 4-point play.
Yeah. Ooh.
He would absolutely.
You don't want to give that to Trent.
No. I mean, Trent had the, but I'm saying he had a lot of them in all the places where he went. Crawford would have a lot of them. Crawford, I think, has like at least 4 50s.
Yeah.
I think he has it. I know he definitely has one with us. Like any stop he went, he could get it to you. But you just didn't know what he was. But with us, when the team needed, like, in a lot of those moments, it was just, oh my God, it was an ugly thing to watch.
Yeah.
It's an ugly thing to watch. It's like talent that just wasn't going to be fulfilled. And maybe he needed to go. Because I remember when he was a free agent, during the Knicks tape era, they tried to get him back, and he was like, they tried to get him back at least once or twice. But that one in particular, even Dolan, I remember a story reading that Dolan even reached out to him, and he was like, no, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
But in the Knicks uniform, it just wasn't, most of those nights, it was, And then finally, when we finally knew that Houston wasn't going to come back, him and Marbury together in the backcourt was not an ideal pairing.
Yeah, because Marbury wasn't a great off-ball.
And defensively, they sucked.
Yeah. But the thing about Starbury is to me, it was just a bad pairing. Right, because Marbury was the epitome of, man, how many players in the NBA are guaranteed to give you 16 and 6 every night?
It was 20 and 8.
Huh?
20 and 8.
No. I was gonna say in his prime he's 20 and 8.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say in his prime. I'm talking about at a base level 16 and 6, in his prime 20 and 8 every night, guaranteed, without fail. The only way he don't get to 8 is if play is not hitting shots, because he's still going to get you the ball, right? But with that said, man, with all of that said, man, the Knicks are 17-4 in their last 21 games. Dudes are telling me, Fritz Alcindor told me the other day that the Knicks are monitoring DeAndre Ayton, and in my mind, I'm thinking like, the Knicks are 17-3, I think, or whatever they were at the time. I'm like, yo, is now the time to rock the boat?
That would interest that. I would really have a big interest with that.
Okay.
Can't lie to you. As long as he comes in and realizes that this is Cat's ship, and we just need him to come in and give us that.
Wait, you talking about bringing him off the bench?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not talking about I'm not putting him and Cat together.
Nah, you ain't paying no $34 million to a.
No, I'm not putting him and Cat together. Oh no, I'm not doing that.
You ain't paying 30. No, you ain't paying 30.
No, I'm not doing that.
$34 million for a dude to come off the bench.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing. I don't need for him and Cat to play together like that.
Right.
What I need for him to do is to fortify what we have off the bench.
Right.
Really and truly. Yeah, of course, moments, you will have Twin Tower situations, but I'm not looking for him to, I know, and that's a lot of money to be like, get off the bench, but This is what I'm talking about, Freezie, when I'm talking about getting what you need. If it's not Ayton, then who else? But it has to be somebody else. It has to be another big. Ayton's cost is just going to be that much more.
Yo, are you really going to trade Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson for DeAndre Ayton?
I wouldn't even think about it. I wouldn't even. Are you crazy? Click. Any phone call that starts out with Josh Hart, click.
Yeah.
Any conversation where you even think about Josh Hart in a trip, click.
That's what you, bro. That's what you giving up, bro.
I wouldn't do it. No way, no how. I'd struggle with Mitch. I'd rather treat Mitch like a deuce and quarter in today's day.
Right.
Every so often, I would stop at the service station and patch it up. Before I make a move like that, there's no way,
bro.
No circumstances would I entertain any trade that had Josh Hart.
You're not gonna get something for nothing, bro.
Then I don't need that.
Right. And then, well, you know what?
Then I don't need that. I still got memories of Ayton getting eaten against Milwaukee. Oh my god,
bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This thing. See, the thing.
When once a Knick, always a Knick. Monty Williams in some of his finest moments gave away the finals, gave away the championships for his nonsense. Thinking that Ayton could guard the Greek Freak.
Nobody can guard him, bro.
But at that time, Freezie, it was just utterly dumb to try and go singles against that dude, even with the bad wheel. Because remember, he comes into the finals injured, and he still put it on him.
Yeah, he got that. I think he got that shot, bro. I think they brought the scientists in to give him that injection. I think he got the Manny Pacquiao injection, bro.
Okay, whatever it was, I just remember him.
It don't matter, right?
It don't matter because when I remember him on the baseline, and I think it was like game 1, and he drop step bounce, and he just gave Ayton the get off me and dumped it on him. I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a long series for me.
Right.
If this is once a Knick, always a Knick, Monty Williams. Where is Monty these days? Where is Monty these days? Monty got a hell of a check from Detroit.
He's laughing, bro.
He better have his feet up. He better have his feet up.
That man set for life, bro. You got a few minutes for Jay Boogie?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Come on now. It's Jay Boogie.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
Where's also what's my guy that got fired from Sacramento the other night?
Mike Brown.
They done gave that man like a 5-year contract, and in less than 100 days they done fired him. Like, well, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
What is going on out here?
Bro, yeah.
He was a part of resurrecting that whole Sacramento thing out there, and now everybody's unhappy.
Right. But for us, bro, in terms of where we are, man, these pie in the sky trade scenarios, bro, we gotta stop it. Right. The fact remains that we have not even played 70 real games with Cat yet. So how you gonna make an adjustment on Cat and Bridges? Like legit, you ain't played 70 games with Bridges, Cat, and OG. How you looking to make wholesale changes already? Right?
Okay.
It's like playing Jenga. You taking pieces from the bottom and putting it on the top. I mean, come on, what are we doing? The Knicks don't need to make a major trade. In my opinion.
No, but I still think they need a big.
Bro, what is Mitchell Robinson?
never been able to count on Mitch. He's the pie in the sky that he spoke about. Let's keep it above. We're talking about, I started, when I brought his name into the conversation, I started talking about him with 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes for somebody who's not even 30. Think about that.
I hear you. I hear you.
Why? Because he's always been, he can dominate a month or two. With his style of offensive rebounding and side to side defense, he can absolutely make you have pie in the sky dreams. And then all of a sudden you'll hear Mitch Robinson is not going to play tonight.
Richard Robinson is
he can't. He was on court. He was on court pregame. You see him walking around. He was on court pregame, and he's not going to play tonight. And stay tuned.
Right. Yeah, and Smitty says people thought the cat trade was pie in the sky. So admittedly, y'all know I'm not perfect, right? Just like y'all ain't perfect either. The cat trade, to me, I knew the cat trade was going to happen. Did I want it to happen? Yes. Did I want it to happen the way that it happened? No. I wanted Cat to be an additive. I didn't want him to be a replacement. And what happened is he wound up being a replacement for Randall and Dante. I wanted to keep the Nova Boys thing intact. I wanted to keep Randall here, right? There were a lot of things that I wanted to do. If we got Cat, I wanted to get Cat with some type of whole bunch of draft picks and absorb his salary type. Y'all know I'm a fan of Randall.
You really thought that Cat and Randall could work with the Nova situation?
But you don't know if it would have worked or not. You don't know that, right?
Fair.
Hold on for just a second. Let me
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting.
That's right.
On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting.
Right.
Share my dreams with you, me and I'm podcasting.
What?
You can see my vision through the podcasting. But don't forget J Boogie when I'm broadcasting. I'm podcasting, he podcasting. I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sales was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezie got them blowing tears.
Yo, salute. J Bugs, what's good?
Salute, King. Salute, King. Salute to y'all brothers, man. Shout out to y'all men, y'all great men of honor, man. Shout out to the chat, everybody rocking. Happy holidays to everybody, I don't know where my big uncle went, where he went. He went somewhere.
He refreshing his glass.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I just wanted to come up here and rock with y'all just for a few minutes, in love and respect, you know what I'm saying, of the show. Love and respect for what y'all do constantly, and Nas had a great song called "Carry On Tradition," and what y'all do, you know what I'm saying, with the old school Knicks, you know what I'm saying, y'all constantly carry on tradition. So I want, to make sure, I just came up here and give y'all some more flowers, you know what I'm saying, so y'all can continue on planting and continue on growing the younger ones that don't know a lot of the things that y'all talk about. And I needed to make sure that Jay Boogie himself goes out of 2024 on the last Sunday of the old school Knicks, you know what I'm saying, before we go into a new year. I needed to be a part of that with y'all, you know what I'm saying, because this is the last old school Sunday before we all rise up out of 24 and move forward into the 25. I hope everybody's had a great and loving and beautiful 2024. Some people say, I'm waiting on the new year. I constantly celebrate the year that I make it out of every year. I'm a little bit different, from how other people want to celebrate, but I celebrate the year that I made it out of more than I celebrate the year that I'm moving into, because I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet, but I know what I did do in the year 2024, and so on and so on. And just like you gentlemen, carrying on tradition. So I just wanted to come up here and just show my love and my respect and gratitude to you guys, you know what I'm saying? And let y'all know Jay Boogie loves and appreciate y'all, everything that y'all do. I value it. I value it to the fullest. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I wanted to come up here and rock with y'all. But y'all guys, y'all just be, y'all just be laying it down every time, no matter what level the Knicks that is on. But it's all New York Knick level, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to come up here and holler at you, King.
Salute to you, sir.
Thank you, man.
Always a good thing to have Jay Boogie in the building.
Yeah, man.
But Boogie remembers. He remembers Crawford. He remembers those guys that, they when they leave here, people like, wow, if the Knicks had kept that one, the Knicks had kept that, they were horrible when they were here.
Our timing just wasn't right, AD. Like historically, our timing has always been a little bit off. Right. Look, I'll give you an example. Give an example of what that feeling is like. It's like, how you go to an event, like, what I'm saying, you put your last few pennies together and you go, what I'm saying, you go to an event or whatever, and you have a good time or whatever, and then on the way home, after you putting gas in your car, whatever, you get a scratch off, and then you hit for like $800. And you like, when you leave in Atlantic City, you leave in Atlantic City, you like, dang, if I would have had this $800 in Atlantic City, I'd have, such and such. That's what being a Knicks fan is like. Like, we're always like, Quentin Grimes would be a perfect fit for the Knicks. But not when we needed him in that role he was in here before. Right? If we had Grimes coming off the bench with defense and 3-point shooting, being in that Landry Shamet role, we'd have been straight, in my opinion. Because I think Grimes is a better player than Shamet. No disrespect to Shamet. But I think Grimes is a better player than Shamet. But at the time we had Grimes, we needed a starter. You know what I'm saying? And so now you thrust Grimes into that starter's role, and he's not built for that. Right? And it's been like that over the years. We're like, for instance, when we y'all remember when we moved off from Canby the first time? Y'all remember when we moved off from Canby the first time, right? And then immediately after that, we needed a Marcus Camby type player, right? When we had him, didn't need him in that role. But then once he left and got immediately better after he left, he wound up being the guy that we actually needed. But while he was here, he was not that guy. And as soon as he left, our roster was built in a way where we needed a Camby, right? And
he could have been. He could. There's a lot more to that at that time. If you remember, he could have been. But when Layden got here, when Layden gets here right before the sun takes over.
Yeah.
And once the sun takes over, North became South, South became West.
He had to rebuild.
East became,
the roster was too old.
The roster might have been too old or getting older because you had Ewing, but here's what we had.
But you didn't just have Ewing, bro. You had Ewing, Kurt
Yes.
Thomas, Charlie Ward,
that same
Larry
roster,
Johnson.
That same roster got you to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, the year before that. I mean, 2 years before.
Back to back. When they decimated a roster for Shannon Anderson and Howard Isley
and Glenn Rice.
No. Glenn Rice then. Well, they had Glenn for that one little moment in the playoffs, but then Glenn got put out as well.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you mean, but what I'm saying is this. You hear my point out completely, right? So when we had Marcus Camby, we had the young, bouncy, spry, super athletic, jump out the ceiling Marcus Camby, right? But then 2 years later or 3 years later after that, everybody went to the double rim protection scheme where you'd have Ben Wallace as your primary rim protector. And when he get pulled away from the rim, Rasheed Wallace rotated in behind him. Right. And what I'm saying is when we went to that style and we needed a Marcus Camby to be in that role at power forward and not at center, Camby was already gone and blossoming into the play. Remember, it took Marcus Camby a long time to develop into the guy we all thought he was going to be. When we saw him at UMass, remember at UMass where he was, at UMass, all we knew was this dude runs like a deer. This dude jumps out the building. And people were thinking, you know what? We're not gonna let him shoot. We're gonna turn him into Pat Ewing dominating the paint, blah, blah, blah. And what we should have done is let that man develop on his own path. Instead of replacing Pat Ewing, we should have been bringing up or putting our energy into Marcus Camby. Everybody's not going to be Pat, right? But we didn't know that at the time. This is revisionist history. It's the reason why we embrace Karl-Anthony Towns now, because we know Karl-Anthony Towns now will never be Pat Ewing. We need to embrace Cat and all, with the good cat and the bad cat, right? The good Pat and the bad cat. We embrace Brunson for who he is. We don't call Brunson an undersized guard that don't play defense. We embrace him for what he is. We don't say Josh Hart, we don't like Josh Hart because it's good Josh and bad Josh. We embrace Josh for who he is. He make a boneheaded play and he'll make it up by making 10 great plays, right? But he gonna make the boneheaded play and it's gonna make you mad, but you accept it. And what I'm saying is, if you're patient with Camby, right? If you patient with Camby, you get all of those good Camby years instead of at center you having Michael Doliak, a washed up Mutombo, and Najee Muhammad.
Yeah, but it was the politics. I don't disagree with you, Freezie. It was just the politics at the time. See what I'm saying? When Camby, it wasn't just Camby, it was Camby and Sprewell.
I understand that, bro.
Once the politics was like, yo, get him out of here, it was bump all of the good things you mentioned. They didn't care. They were drafting Sweetney.
They were drafting company men.
They were drafting a dude that literally, I remember when I saw that man in his uniform in Georgetown.
He looked like a pulling guard, bro.
He looked like a right tackle.
Right. Yep.
He was and he was slow on his feet.
He was, and not only was he slow, he was only strong in certain areas. He was strong at the rim, but didn't have functional strength nowhere else.
How do you draft somebody that already has weight and discipline problems as a building block to your future?
We didn't know he was having the issues after the fact. After his career is over, we find out what the issues were, right? And we didn't know how to handle.
What was the issue? He couldn't stay. What? He couldn't stay away from the ham hocks.
No, man, the dude was having.
He couldn't stay away from the Waffle House. That's all I remember.
I can't stay away from the Waffle House, bro.
You weren't our starting power forward.
But you know what?
To be our starting power forward.
Jay Boogie, I got to argue with this man just because I notice he pick on Sweetney, but he don't pick on John Thomas, right? How you gonna bring up Mike Sweetney and then never bring up John Thomas?
Because Sweetney
out of Minnesota,
was number 9. Sweetney was number 9 pick.
John Thomas was number 8.
Oh damn, you're right. Oh,
a 6'7", 270-pound, slow-footed power forward out of Minnesota. You never bring up that man's name, bro.
You're right.
He's
Right.
6'7", 270,
Right.
can't jump, can't run. I think the only reason why you don't bring up his name is because he was beige, because he was light skinned. That's the only reason why you don't bring him up, bro. That's the only reason why you don't bring him up, bro.
So you know what I'm saying? So when we travel back down these roads, and then I peep into the chat and I see some blasphemous stuff, I'm just like, you weren't part of the suffrage movement. You just wasn't there.
Yeah. Salute
You don't know. Yeah. You just wasn't there. You don't know what it was to go to the playoffs for 12, 13 out of 15 of Patrick Ewing's years and have dreams of one day, and then all of a sudden the lights are off. When the lights went off, it was like they were celebrating Nate Robinson's dunk attempts.
Right.
That's how bad it was.
That's what I'm saying to you, AD. What I'm saying to you, bro, is the timing of some of the stuff was always off by a little bit, like not much, but
but when you invite the madness, you remember when the Russian dude bought the Nets?
Yeah.
The first thing he did was bring in Jay-Z as a minority partner, right?
Yeah.
People thought Jay had whatever. One of the first things they did up the road from Madison Square Garden was to have their likeness on a building, right? That they were the new power in town, and they were taking over the town. This is in Dolan's backyard. This is the kind of shit that was happening. Because why? When you move like a team that's not worth whatever they're worth, you let these false Pharisees come in and do nonsense like that. I remember I was like, look, in the middle of the night, somebody would have came and you'd have seen the helicopter that came and dropped yellow paint all over that. We're not taking this kind of disrespect in our town.
But I think I think you missing. Okay. What I'm saying about the timing is off. What I'm saying is the timing is always off, right? Like for instance, the perfect player for us is Dante DiVincenzo, right? Dante was a perfect fit for us. There was synergy and all of that stuff. And the unfortunate part is, in order for us to get Cat, we had to dearly depart with our brother, Dante DiVincenzo. Is he hurt right now? Yes. Are we hurt right now? Yes and no. Because you got to pay the cost to be the boss. Right? And so over the years, we have always been a step behind everybody. Like for instance, in 84, I think it's 84 or 86, one of those years. One of the years, it might have been, was it 83? It might have been 83, right? 83, the Knicks need to infuse athleticism, but they also need a point guard. They tired of rotating random dudes in at point guard, right? So in 83, they're like, you know what? We got to solve one of these issues, right? So we draft Darryl Walker out of Illinois, right? Our time is we should have drafted Clyde Drexler.
Oh,
he was the athlete at shooting guard that we had been looking for, right? The timing is always, bro. The Steph Curry draft, when you needed a point guard, right?
Hey, family, I'm gonna get ready to roll out. I just wanted to come up here, honor, and show some respect to y'all. I gotta go get some fantasy rosters. This is Super Bowl. I'm in 3 of them. Luckily, I made it. One of them I got eliminated in my league, and another one in my league I'm in that one too. So I gotta get these rosters together before 1 o'clock. But much love and respect, man. Appreciate you all, and I'll see y'all later on before
thank
this
you for coming
end.
through, bro. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, and so what I'm saying is the Knicks have had terrible timing over the years. The Steph Curry draft is not bad because we missed out on Steph Curry. The Steph Curry draft is we choked when Steph Curry's name went off the board. we acted as if we could have left that draft with Drew Holiday.
Yes.
We could have left that draft with DeMar DeRozan.
Could have left that draft with Brandon Jennings.
We could have left that draft with Brandon. There was tons of talent still left on the board, but instead we panicked.
Drew Holiday, because I remember one of my trusted basketball confidants at the time was like, "Yo, I'm telling you, Drew Holiday.
Yep.
Drew Holiday. He can play both ways." And Philly with their nonsense got rid of him and within 2 years, 3 years, they got rid of him, and then he becomes one of the best two-way players for the next 10, 12 years.
You remember the backcourt they had, right? Their backcourt was, I'm going to say this is going to make you laugh. Their 3-guard rotation was Drew Holiday, Andre Iguodala, and Lou Williams, and they felt like they couldn't win with that. You remember who their center was? Remember, we go through this about every 2 or 3 months. You remember who their center was?
They had like 4 of them.
Vucevic was their center.
Right, Vucevic, right? They drafted.
They had Mo Harkless on the wing with them.
Yeah,
they could have won with that team, but they lost in the first or second round, and they were like, "We can't win with this. We got to start a new process."
Which became the process, and they're still
a second round team.
Even though those guys are long gone, the ghost of the process is still there because Y and B is still there.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's something to remember too. They traded up for the number 1 pick in the draft with Boston and took Markelle Fultz, even though they drafted Ben Simmons the year before. Do you know who they passed up on? Jason Tatum. They could have legit think about who the Sixers could have had, everybody. The Sixers could have had a roster of Ben Simmons. I mean, to this day, this could be their roster. Ben Simmons, Kristaps Porzingis, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid. They probably still have Drew Holiday. Because remember, they traded Drew Holiday to New Orleans for Nerlens Noel and a first-round pick.
I never understood the fascination with Nerlens Noel.
I don't know.
He's a one-trick pony.
After his injury, he was a one-trick pony. In high school, people thought he was going to be the next.
I never saw it. I never saw it with him because he wasn't physical enough. And at some point in time, whether it was in this life or the next or the previous, you'd have to have some game footage of you actually taking a shot.
But that's the thing that we're looking at Nerlens Noel, the finished product in high school before he blew. Remember, he blew out his knee. His knee imploded on him. This dude was. You remember Harry Giles? Harry Giles was the same way. A dude that could faster than most.
Yeah, but Harry Giles offensively. Nerlens Noel was never Harry Giles offensively.
Yeah, he was better than Harry Giles.
No, sir. As a big that can handle it to shoot, no, sir. We're gonna have to beg to differ on that one. No, sir.
You wrong.
You wrong. Nerlens Noel offensively, Nerlens Noel is a little bit better than Mitch.
You wrong, bro. You are absolutely wrong on this one, bro. The University of Kentucky center. That's the thing. You can't say
he was a college guy. He's a college center.
Bro, you got to go to high school before you get to college.
Yeah, I get it, but his game wasn't going to translate to the NBA. He wasn't that guy. It was the same thing when they took
in his high school class.
How many of those number 1 guys we don't seen that come on now? Kwame Brown, no disrespect, Kwame Brown. A lot of these guys, their games don't translate.
Kwame Brown was not the number 1 recruit in his high school class. He got hyped coming up to the draft. That's why Kwame Brown was a bust, because somebody fell in love with a big that can shoot, and they drafted him number 1 over a bunch of dudes that were better than him. Kwame Brown needed time to develop, and the Wizards rushed him into the starting.
Okay, look at your other big boy Look at your other big boy.
Let me know the Nerlens Noel. Nerlens Noel was in the era, in the lineage of Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Davis. Kentucky was finding the number one high school centers in the country and bringing them into Kentucky, right? And now think and chat. What I'm going to ask you to do is not look at Nerlens Noel's career, but look at how this thing happened in a line. Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns, Willie Cauley-Stein, Nerlens Noel. Kentucky had been known for DeMarcus Cousins also, right? Nerlens Noel is not a slob that Kentucky found, and he was a first round. He should have been the first pick in the draft, and then he got hurt. Ismail Reefer says Nerlens Noel. Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm Ismail Reefer. I'm just gonna say you don't know basketball or you don't follow basketball, bro. Dudes don't just show up on the radar if they're trash. These dudes are good, and something happens. These dudes are Nerlens Noel is not a 5-star recruit to the University of Kentucky if he's garbage. These things don't just happen. Oh, I just need a random dude. Just
but there's a lot of those. But Freezie,
the dude was good, and he got hurt. He got hurt twice.
Yeah,
but the reason why he wasn't the number one pick is because he tore his knee at Kentucky.
Okay. I get all of that. Fine, I get all of that. Okay. Nerlens Noel offensively is not even Sam Bowie.
When?
Never.
What version of Nerlens Noel is not Sam?
None of them was Sam Bowie. None of them. Couldn't pass like Bowie. Couldn't post like Bowie. None of them.
He couldn't dribble dribble like Sam Bowie. Sam Bowie was Kristaps Porzingis.
None of them. Right? I'll give you another one. Right? I'll make even a better correlation. Nerlens Noel and Never Nervous Purvis Ellison. Who you take?
I don't know. I need some time to think about that one. because on a random night, man, Purvis Ellison would destroy an NBA front line by himself. But then when he played in the NBC game, he was trash.
He's one of those guys. See, I judge bigs differently than I think a lot of people.
But AD, listen, I'm trying to clarify. I'm with you on your point, but what I'm saying is, for the fact that we're saying Nerlens Noel was trash off the rip is not true.
I'm not saying he's trash off the rip. I just never thought his game was going to translate to for the pick, for where he was slotted, and for what Philly was trying to do. Because remember, Philly also drafted that other bum from Duke.
From Duke, Jahlil Okafor.
The Knicks were tanking for Okafor. Do you remember that?
No, they were tanking for Cat, bro. I was on Twitter.
Cat or whoever. Dude, I remember.
Cat, yeah.
Thank God. What's his name again? The guard that we had. Langston Galloway. Langston Galloway won like 5 games down the stretch by himself.
Him and Maurice Endower. Remember
Maurice
Endower?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But ultimately, just to clarify, I'm not a Nerlens Noel fan. I just think it's unfair to say that Nerlens Noel, after the injuries, was limited, and to say that's who he had been his entire career leading up to that point. That's not fair. That's like if you look at the 99 version of Pat Ewing and say that's who Pat Ewing was his entire career. That wasn't Pat his entire career.
Fair, right? Fair, Freezie. But let me ask you this. Would you have paired him and Okafor together?
No.
Okay.
No. I would not have. But at the same time, it was Philadelphia. The Knicks have had worse front offices than Philly. I sat through it. But I was there when they drafted John Thomas, bro.
Yeah, but Philly got a lot of chances to gamble. Philly was rolling the dice and just getting the number one pick. The Knicks ain't never had that many number ones and twos and threes, and Philly was getting them and just roll the dice again, get rid of that guy. Roll the dice again, get rid of that guy. As bad as Isaiah was, he wasn't getting those 1-2s like how Philly was getting. Philly was getting ridiculous.
I would venture to say Isaiah Thomas was the best drafter this franchise ever had, bro. If you're just going by draft results, Isaiah Thomas is the best drafter, right? Because I sat through Leon Rose drafts, bro. Like, I legit sat through Leon Rose drafts. That dude drafted Obi Toppin. That dude drafted Quentin Grimes. He drafted Jericho Sims.
He drafted quickly.
Yeah, bro. I like quickly, by the way. But my thing is Isaiah Thomas. If we're gonna just say, if we're gonna judge people on the bad stuff they did, I also want to add the good stuff. Isaiah Thomas was a hell of a drafter, bro.
I don't know about it. Well, not with us.
Well, you don't like David Lee?
Yes, he was a talented ball player from I think when they got him at.
He drafted him 30.
30, right?
He drafted David Lee with a 30.
Out of Florida, yes, that was a potent move and so forth.
He drafted an NBA All-Star with the 30th pick.
Yeah, but you also draft Channing Frye over Bynum.
Right.
You see? And I remember
Channing Frye was the coach was crazy.
But here's the thing. I remember him talking about not drafting Bynum, right? And another one was Monty Ellis, because the Knicks had worked out Monty Ellis like 3 or 4 times.
And we loved Monty Ellis coming.
They loved Monty Ellis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Whatever happened internally, we come away with the draft not having Monty Ellis and Bynum. We come away with the draft with Frye, Nate Robinson, and
David Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next year we drafted Wilson. Was it Wilson Chandler and Marty? No, the year before that we drafted Wilson Chandler and Marty Collins.
Come on now.
Yeah, Marty Collins. The only thing that was wrong with Marty Collins is they tried to move him to point guard. Marty Collins was a good player.
I heard him talk, but when I heard him talk about why he drafted Frye over Bynum, I was like, that just makes no sense.
Bro,
you're going with him just because he's a 4-year starter in college, and but a lot of guys, their games are, college games. They were great. I know a lot of great college football players. Danny Ferry was a great college ball player.
JJ Redick was a great college ball player.
JJ Redick, I can go down
the line. Great college player.
Shane Battier was a great college ball player.
Right.
In the NBA, not so much.
Jay Billis was a great. Danny Ferry. Christian Laettner was a great.
Christian Laettner is top 10 college basketball player of all times.
Yep.
Of all times.
But
it's probably the greatest shot in college history.
Yeah. But the thing I'm
look at him in the NBA.
But my point is this: if just saying on that point is that with Isaiah, you can't really judge him and the Knicks, and this whole thing is about timing. Everybody, the whole rabbit hole I just went down is because of timing. Like timing being off, right? The thing is Isaiah was a great drafter, but the timing wasn't right for that, right? Isaiah was trying to turn the roster over with these young guys with leadership and then have a seasoned coach to guide that youth movement. Well, the thing is, the seasoned coach he had was an idiot, right? The dude legit ruined everything he touched. Larry Brown ruined this. Bro, you remember how Larry Brown ruined Rod Strickland?
Yeah, but
Nobody remember Larry Brown ruining Ron Strickland.
No. Well, Ron. Well, yes. Okay, but here's my thing.
Nobody remember him telling Sean Elliott not to shoot.
Yes, but he was just doubling down on the nonsense. Remember, in his only time going to the playoffs was when Lenny Wilkins was the coach. He fired Lenny for whatever reason why he fired Lenny. To this day, we don't know. And it went from there. So his drafting...
Because Lenny went and played the young guys. Come on, AD, you remember? It was all over the papers.
Then he got to the playoffs.
Lenny Wilkins was more concerned about his win-loss record.
You kept shuffling the deck on him.
Bro,
he kept changing the guys. He had Nazim Muhammad. He gets rid of Nazim Muhammad. He has.
I noticed you brought up another Kentucky big man.
He was a good big.
Because Kentucky always has good bigs, bro.
Well, in college, not so much in the NBA.
Nick Richards is a good big man. You like DeMarcus Cousins?
Yes.
What about you? What about your starting center? Is he from Kentucky? See where I'm going, everybody? See where I'm going with this, everybody? How he threw dirt on Nerlens Noel and now is back to
Nerlens Noel.
Y'all notice he bought up the
Nerlens Noel is not cat.
I know that. Not in the pros.
Never was.
Not in the pros. He's not. No.
He's a college ball player. Some guys don't. Some guys don't. I remember. You remember this dude from
Ron Harper?
No,
from Ron Harper.
No.
You remember what Ron Harper was before he had those 3 knee injuries, right?
Yes. Yeah. He was. Come on now.
He was more athletic than Jordan. He was more athletic than Michael Jordan.
Yes, but stay right there. Remember Tommy Hammonds from out of Wake Forest?
Yeah, that's my homeboy.
Tommy Hammonds looked like Mr. He looked like Tony Atlas from WWF.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
In the NBA, he can't play a lick.
Bro,
he was drafted number 9, I think.
AD, you know what happened to him though? Knee injuries, bro. I'm telling you, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like the way these dudes get hurt, bro, they're never the same. I think we take that for granted. I know Tom Hammonds, man. I bought 3 cars from him. I bought 2 cars from him. AD, you don't remember the story I told you? Me and Tom Hammonds was in a meeting, and Alex English walked in. I never told you that about me and him.
I think so.
Yeah, me and him in a meeting. I was working on taking a class to be a Wendy's franchisee, right? And it never happened. Just whatever. But he walked in and he see both of us. He's like, "Man, y'all tall. Y'all play ball." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I used to play for the Bullets." And me, I'm like, "Yeah, man, I used to play at the park."
You call me Freezie.
I used to play at Dickinson High. I used to play the 3 at Dickinson High. Yeah, man. Yeah, so
a lot of guys, Freezie. I get the injury thing, but I done seen a lot of dudes. Dallas Comagy from out of DePaul.
Yeah.
Another one I thought that was going to be NBA. My favorite of them all, from out of the Bronx, Walter Berry.
Walter Berry, right.
When the Knicks didn't draft Walter Berry in '86, I thought the world was coming to an end.
My soul was hurt, bro.
You hear me? I thought the world was coming. I'm like, you're going to put him next to Patrick? He's going to be at the 4.
10 championships.
Oh my God, he's gonna be that Bernard because his game was like Bernard's game. A lot of people talk about the guys who mirrored his game was a lot like Bernard's game, but only from the left-handed standpoint. He was the first person in college I remember.
He was bigger than Bernard, though. He was bigger than Bernard.
Yeah, he's bigger than Bernard, and he was, very fluid around the box.
Yeah.
in a different sort of way. He was the first person I remember in college that wasn't a big, that they put him in a boxing one.
Yeah.
And they couldn't stop him.
Still
when the Knicks didn't draft him, I was like, oh my God. Right? When he gets out to Portland and his first practice, this is according to him, Walter Berry, he was like, oh my God, these guys are big.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah, you know who the Portland starting power forward was when he got there?
Oh God.
Buck Williams.
Okay, I was gonna say.
You remember
Percy.
Buck Williams from the New Jersey Nets? Number 52?
It was a man's league. A lot of guys just couldn't make it just for the mere fact that you were running up against Buck Williams.
Buck Williams, bro.
That's a dude that when he got away from Jersey, it was like God just said, you know what? Enough of the suffering.
Enough of the suffering. Yep.
Enough of the suffering. We're gonna do you a favor. We done got you up out of here. Yep. This is what a championship organization looks like. Because he didn't go like from a team that wasn't. He went to a team that was a contender immediately.
Yep. You remember they kept losing in the playoffs because they wasn't tough enough.
Right.
They were like the finesse team running up and down the floor, running, shooting the outside shots, running, athleticism. And then they messed around and Duckworth popped and Buck Williams popped. Duckworth looked like he was every bit of 280 back then.
Yeah.
That man was bigger than Jeff.
That man was bigger than that. Oh my God. Duckworth, he got down to 280. He was well into the threes.
Huge, bro.
Well into the threes.
Yeah.
And he somehow, worked and got in shape for them couple of seasons and with Buck Williams, but they just ran into a dude that's just the greatest.
Bro, you know what? I remember
they ran into two dudes that was, when they ran into Isaiah,
yeah,
it was the same thing. They ran into two dudes that were just.
You remember Rick Mahorn fouled him and the Pistons ran over there and then they saw who it was and everybody stopped and backed up? It was Lambeer, Mahorn, Rodman. I think Mahorn came over that dude's head and fell and rolled and got up and ran back towards Buck Williams and he saw who he was and he stopped and Lambeer was running and you could hear their sneakers screech.
No, you didn't play. You didn't play with Buck Williams. No, you didn't play with Buck Williams. You didn't play with Buck Williams. Buck Williams was he used to get. I remember he's like one of the first dudes I remember that used to get 20 rebounds, like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. He was just, you couldn't get him out. In today's game, he would still have to be a 4, but he's only 6'8".
Yeah.
But he's going to clean up all of that.
40, something like that.
30 maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Maybe, because he was, cut. Just wasn't going to he wasn't going to play with Buck Williams.
No.
And he a lot of them years with the Nets, wasted a lot of those years. When you with a bad organization, it can drain you. It really can. And
you out here with Otis Bird song.
You out here with Otis Bird song. And Otis Bird song was an all-star. Don't get me wrong. He went to the all-star. I remember him getting there once or twice with the Nets. But Michael Corrin,
Bernard King, brother.
Albert King.
Yeah, he out here with Albert King and Otis Bird song, bro.
And Albert was a good player. People don't remember. Albert in high school, legendary. He was better than Bernard at that time.
In high school,
he's drafted. I think when they draft him, what did he go to Maryland? I think. Ooh. The Nets may be. I think they had that thing with them, that record or whatever. They had drafted two brothers within the top 7 picks. Because they draft Albert and they had drafted Bernard originally.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
You
man.
know.
So on that, I guess we can get out of here, man.
Oh
It's,
wow, I
I
didn't
think
see
it's
that we was here this long.
yeah, man. I got to get ready to watch these Jets, bro. Let's go Jets, man. We need the
You're
Jets to
such
win
a
today.
hater. You're such a hater. You're such a
No.
hater.
I'm a Bears fan. I'm a Bears fan.
I'm
I need
not
the
gonna.
Jets to win,
I
but
want before we get out of here though, because a lot has happened since the last time we was here. Because we had took a week off or whatever. I just want to, say rest in peace to the great Ricky Henderson. When I heard that man passed away, Freezie, because sometimes people be fucking around on their phones and shit, and be saying this one died and that one died, and they be lying and shit.
yeah.
And when I got the word, I was like, oh my God, Ricky Henderson. I tell anybody, one of the top 5 ball players that these eyes have ever seen play the game.
Definitely top 20 in sports, period. Top 20 personality in sports.
That dude had his first $1 million check, right? Ricky gets the check, and Ricky just kind of leaves it on his mantelpiece, right? Yeah. The A's, I think it might have been the Yankees at the time. Like their accountants is like doing the math, and they're like, "Yo, where's this $1 million? How come this $1 million hasn't been cashed?
They're like, $1 million missing." They go into a panic.
They go into they look up. They call Ricky up. Yo, Rick, you got this $1 million sitting there? He was like, "Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to cash it."
This dude had it in a frame for people to come see in his apartment, bro. This dude framed $1 million check. Anybody stole that thing, man.
You cannot make this up. But that man right there in a baseball game that you need to win. The year that Don Mattingly gets MVP, look at Ricky's numbers. It was Ricky who should have won MVP that year. Look at Ricky's numbers. Ricky start off a game and knock it out the yard on you. Bang.
Right. Yep. You're already down 1-0 already.
You already down 1-0. Him on the base pads. When stolen bases was a real thing in baseball, so that's one of the reasons why I kind of fell out of love with baseball. With a lot of the things when I grew up that was like a staple, the running part of baseball was it's gone, and they had to institute no shifts in order for them to stop doing that shift nonsense. And for guys, it was so many things, but Rick could just do anything on the baseball field. Anything. When he came to the Yankees, I still remember the Yankees traded their top 4 or 5 guys out the minors for him. And it was people were like,
for not to be nothing.
They was when they sent them to the A's. I remember Eric Plunk and a couple of other guys. I can't remember, but it was it's a no-brainer. It was kind of like the Melo thing. You don't worry about picks. You don't worry about those guys. You got Ricky Henderson, who's not even 30.
Yeah.
Got Ricky Henderson in his prime. I mean, he goes back to the A's and Toronto and all that, and wins and whatever, and then when he travels or whatever. But those 5 years with the Yankees, right, when the Yankees could not get a proper pitching staff, those years, especially those first 3, oh my God, woo! That man was something to see.
That man was something.
That man was something to see.
That's when the showman aspect of sports was key.
The bat, or the snatch, and from the outfield.
Yeah.
The snatch catch.
I did that, bro. I did that in the game one time. Tyrone ran all the way out to center field, bro. What you doing?
Ricky was just different, man. He was just smooth. in
we
every
used
form.
to call it snapping you off. Like if you hit a lazy fly ball out somewhere, we snap you off, right? It was like AD. You remember in high school when your coach used to be like, all layups go off the box, right? Right. I remember, man, I think we were beating Lincoln High by maybe 10. Back in the day, that was a blowout. When you were winning by 10, that was a blowout. A team could never come back from 10 points, right? And so, man, I tipped the ball. The dude, I was chasing the dude, and he slipped, and I beat him to the ball, and it was me by myself. And AD, I went up and finger rolled with my hand on my hip. This is like 80. This is like 83. Everybody, I put my hand on my hip in the air and finger rolled, and the crowd went bananas. And Mr. Marcellus called a timeout and dragged me by my jersey, bro. I probably still got the scratch marks on my neck, bro. And snatched my ass off the floor. Sit your head and don't move. Right?
Freezie!
Yeah, I couldn't dunk, right? I was, you know how you at that stage where you got to get a 10-mile head start in order to dunk?
Right.
I was at that stage. Like I wasn't dunking in a game yet. I could dunk. You remember the girls' ball? Remember the girls? The girls will practice on one side and you'll practice on the other side.
Right.
And then they'll leave and then you practice full court or whatever.
With their ball, I'm like, wow, this would be easy.
I finger rolled and Mr. Marcellus ran over. And Mr. Marcellus was Italian, right? And man, and he put that cigarette down. And this is in the game. Y'all, I don't know if y'all remember this or not. And this is probably not appropriate. But back in the day, people used to smoke indoors. Like you could smoke.
Yes.
Like people used to smoke inside. Now,
literally killing people.
Yeah. And
literally, secondhand smoke was the shit.
And AD, and guess what I was wearing? Guess what I was wearing when I did the layup? I was wearing ponies. You remember ponies? Remember how popular ponies was back in the early 80s?
Yeah, ponies.
Man, St. John's was wearing ponies, bro.
With the little V stripe ponies.
Bro.
Ponies. I never understood that. No, ponies was they were trying. They were trying. Everybody else was rocking Pumas, right? And we had on I had on ponies, bro, and I did the poster layup at the head of my hip and my little teaspoon.
Mr. Marcellus, if you still alive, if I ever see you,
salute to Mr. Marcellus. We're gonna leave it right there. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat, all the Knicks family and so forth. Once again, we don't know where this journey started, but we know where it ended with you. Look for me and Freezie in the whirlwind. Harvey.
Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real Anthony D, and your main man, Jersey.